Hello and welcome along to the Sports Express Show on a brand new week. Thank you so much for being with us today. And of course, my brother and I are back, Sanele. And we're going to be looking at some action as far as boxing is concerned because we did build up to that big fight. The super middleweight title fight between Canelo Alvarez and BJ Saunders. And as expected, it was fireworks. It was a very, very good fight to watch. But obviously, the man, Canelo Alvarez, forcing BJ Saunders to actually retire by giving him such a hard blow to the eye. And obviously, the fight had to be stopped at that point.
It had to be stopped. I mean, what a blow! And I mean, many people will think that BJ Saunders quit. But in that case, I mean,
he couldn't continue.
He just couldn't. I mean, it was one of those situations where I think it was better to preserve him and his career than rather to go out, and he was losing anyway. I don't mean that disrespectfully to him, but I mean, that eye injury was bad. It was bad.
And we're just hoping that it's not going to be the end of him because it's quite a serious one.
It is serious.
And we did hear reports that it might literally be tickets for him at this point.
It might be the end of his career because I mean it broke the orbital bone. And his coach, BJ Saunders' coach, was like it had caved in. And so the only thing that's left there's nothing in fact left between the eye and the orbital bone. So you can only assume that it must have, or it might have obstructed the eye in some way or shape or form. So you just hope in that case that that's not the case and that he gets healthy and he gets back to it.
But that's a testament of the man that he was up against, Canelo Alvarez.
100%.
A vicious, powerful, quick, like any description you can use in the book.
Very vengeful. That's the one thing with Canelo. He's very vengeful in the sense that even if you look at especially the second fight against Triple G, that second fight showed you how vengeful that guy is because Triple G had accused him of doping. Had accused him of not fighting Mexican style, and that G'd him up like a lot. So the second fight, he was on the front foot, walking Triple G down, something that never happens, by the way. And in this case, in this fight, BJ Saunders, you could tell was getting under his skin. And pulling antics, and with Tyson Fury there behind BJ Saunders and also adding the fuel to the flame. I mean, this man he was
possessed.
He was possessed, bro.
And he really did show it in the fight because Saunders started really well in the initial rounds, and then once it got to the middle and later stages, because the fight was stopped in round 9, if I'm not mistaken, the power of Canelo started to come in, and he was absorbing some really, really powerful shots. Yes,
he was, and also adding to that, I mean, BJ Saunders' coach said he thought BJ started slow. But for me in this fight, I think BJ brought something that other opponents have not brought from Triple G's fight. I mean, Triple G was the one that really tested Canelo. And ever since then, there hasn't really been anyone. And I think Billy Joe did test Canelo, maybe not to that level, of course, but I mean the shots that he made Canelo miss quite a few times. That's number one. He took his power shots like they were nothing. Well, apart from the last one, of course. But for me, I'm just shocked the man didn't go down earlier. I mean, the man's chin is granite, and even with that power shot that he got with the eye,
he was still up.
And he finished the round and he went to the corner. So a great testament to his fighting style and his grit. But unfortunately, the man, Canelo Saul Alvarez, came through at the end. And as I expected, I don't want to lie to you, but I mean, jeepers, that was a brutal end. And like I say again, I hope Billy Joe gets better soon, man.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's one belt that's left in his collection right now, which is the IBF super middleweight. Hopefully he's going to be capturing that a lot sooner. We're going to see the unification fight that's coming up. So moving over now from one great to the next. As far as Formula One is concerned, Lewis Hamilton grabbing his 5th Spanish Grand Prix victory in a row, which basically puts him on 98 Formula One wins now. He's 2 away from the magic century.
How many pole positions?
100 pole positions going into this one. So centuries on centuries, basically.
What do you guys want? Well, how many times must I say the same? How many times must we say the bloody same thing about the god of Formula One? The man's greatness cannot be expressed enough. But I mean, I've done it more than enough times, and I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna continue. But look, I mean, he came through.
And the great thing about this one is that we also saw the greatness of his team.
Of his team, yes.
Mercedes
Actually,
team.
I was about to go there because purely Red Bull were beaten through strategy there. And I mean,
pure strategy.
Pure strategy. I mean, Verstappen at some point was in the lead to actually take that race. And
It was
they
28 seconds ahead at some point.
And they just, Mercedes are the masters of undercutting, and they just undercut everybody. And they ended up being the winner, and Lewis Hamilton was, tasted champagne at the end of the day. So, and they also got Valtteri Bottas on the podium as well. So it's points for Lewis, and it's points for Mercedes, or points for Mercedes and points for Lewis, whichever way you want to see it.
And
but
it's not the first time he's done that as well. I think they mentioned it in that he's done it in the Hungarian Grand Prix, or the Hungarian Grand Prix all over again. Where he puts it for the second time just before the last couple of laps. And then it just went for gold.
Look, I mean, I was telling someone that I was watching the race with, it's like, you know what, you can have faster cars than Lewis Hamilton, but the team, the way they strategize, his strategies as well. Also, Tunusha strategy and more than you having the faster car, it's just strategy. And for me, the Red Bull was on top form. I don't want to lie to you. I feel like it was on par or slightly better than the Mercedes, but it was right up there. But right there for me, it was the battle of the brains there, and Mercedes came out on top.
And the nice thing as well is that Max is actually staking his claim this season as the closest competitor to Lewis Hamilton. You know, he's really going for it. But as you're mentioning now, it's just those little things that Hamilton has over him.
Yes, and it's just the experience. I mean, Hamilton, he bided his time. I mean, even in one of the radios, he was like, as expected, Verstappen's tires would die out. So it's just biding his time, being patient, and experience affords you that quality to say, look, I've been here before, nothing to panic about, just carry on with the game plan, and they did, and they tasted champagne, both of them. So it was great performance in my eyes, and deservedly the driver of the day, Lewis Hamilton. So
he was also the driver of the year and the century
and history and everything else. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you again on the next one. Peace.